Sarah, who's coming on board with you guys. She is a registered dietitian, and Sarah is in her 7th year of being the national media spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Sarah is a consultant, and she works under several grants, and she's one of the lead dietitians for All Children's Hospital, and she conducts the programs Fit for All Teens and Fit for All Kids, and these are weight management classes for health and fitness. And Sarah also is very involved in a 3-year randomized trial study that's being conducted for obese pregnant women. And it's the only prenatal nutrition class around that focuses on overweight pregnant women. And Sarah stays really busy. She also consults with the Healthy Start through a grant in Pinellas County, working with women in preconception and pregnancy. And she also has extensive service in the food service industry. And Sarah's the owner of a nutrition consulting and video business, Sarah RD TV. And you're all going to want to take a look at Sarah RD TV. She's very fortunate to have her husband as her webmaster and IT guy, and they have a very, very cute little syndicated internet program, and you'll learn some great stuff from Sarah. She's a graduate of Central Michigan University with a master's degree in public health, and she's also the mother of three small children, so she's very busy. So if by chance any of the children slip out of her husband's hands during this presentation tonight,
exactly.
I think you'll all understand, right? So Sarah, we welcome you and thank you so much. While Sarah's presenting, we're going to turn the chat off so we can give attention to Sarah, and then we'll open the webinar up for chat so you can ask Sarah her questions, okay? So Sarah, thank you and take it away.
Thank you. Okay, so you can hear me just fine, right? I am going to actually I'm going to take these off a little bit so I can talk. And thank you so much for having me, because I love to see not only people, but women especially, take hold of their lives and really make positive changes, especially with their eating habits. Kudos to you for grasping the exercise part. I'm an extremely practical person. I know that you met Sheila Dean, and she is a wizard at the back end of nutrition. I'm more of a wizard in this part of the world of nutrition. So I'm very practical. So I'm going to give you a couple tips. I'm only going to speak for 15-20 minutes because I love to hear what questions, what answers you need for maybe some barriers that you have in your own meal-making world. Okay? So Pamela and Kelly probably have heard some of this before, but I'm going to speak to women just the way that I live my life, and I know that you guys all are extremely busy. I get exhausted just listening to my own freaking bio because it's all over the place, and I know that we're either working full-time, working out of the home, we're in and out. We are the CEOs of our family and our lives, and wow, we have to eat healthy and lose weight at the same time as well, okay? So I just realized that my computer is going to go on standby if I don't shake the mouse. Okay, so first of all, this is rule number 1. I'm going to put it real close up to the camera. What does it say? Plan your meals. Oh, you've heard it before, right? So most of the time, busy people, women especially if you are responsible for other people's meals and yourself and you want to get as healthy as possible, you have to plan ahead. And I know that we know how to do this, but doing it is especially important. So I was going to grab the flyers that we got in the mail today from Aldi's, Publix, you can go online, Sweet Bay, if you have one near you, Winn-Dixie, whatever. If you plan ahead and you know where your next meal is coming from, that is half the challenge. The worst thing that we can do is wait too long and then overeat. So we want to make sure that we know where our next meal is coming from. So as Pamela said, I have 3 kids, 6 chickens, dying dog, husband that works all the time. I always know when my next meal is coming from, and it does not come from Chick-fil-A or McDonald's. So, for example, this is my rule number one, my red pot. If you don't have any kind of big casserole dish or a slow cooker, if you invest in one of these, 9 times out of 10 will have something in the pot at all times in the refrigerator, something that will last 3 to 5 days. If you don't like to eat the same thing every day, that's fine. I'll talk about that in a second. But you definitely want to have something, so at least if you are extremely hungry, you get home from a workout, what are you going to grab? You're going to grab what's in the pot. So today I made, and again, these are just very basic guidelines and examples, and of course you fill in the gaps if you're vegetarian or you don't eat fish or you only eat meat and cheese, whatever. I can talk about that, but for now, just know that in the pot, always a carb. So I have some pasta in here. It's not whole grain. Pasta, some frozen vegetables, and I used a frozen seafood mix. You could have chicken, beans. Something like this will again last for 3 to 5 days, and you can reheat it. You can add more vegetables to it, but just know that there is something waiting for you. And if you don't have to make something like this every night, you can have, like on a Sunday or afternoon or a Saturday or any day off that you have from work, or at least 2 or 3 hours after you get back from the grocery store, or after you put things away and you have time to cook. At any given time, I'll put something in the oven. It could be a pork loin, it could be a fillet of salmon, then I might have something going in the pot. It could be a stock, or it could be a pot of beans or a pot of rice, and some pasta, and you have some veggies steaming in the microwave. All of that will last a good couple days, and then you don't have to cook, every night of the week. Okay? So that's the other thing. Now, third rule. A lot of people say, oh, Sarah, well, you've never had a weight problem. How do you must be able to eat anything you want and still, be healthy. Guess what, people? This is what I do. You treat yourself to the best produce possible. And I know that all of you have seen Mickey Mouse with one ear, and this is absolutely how I eat and how you should try to model your eating as well. This means half of your plate every time you eat, whether it's a stir fry, whether it is, a salad, of course, but you want to have at least half of your meals fruits and vegetables. You can combine the fruits and vegetables. This could be, salads. It could be stir fry. It could be steamed. A quarter of your meal, some kind of protein. And I have a couple examples over here. I'm going to move my big fat red dot out of the way. Some examples of protein. The obvious would be chicken breast, any kind of fish or seafood that's not fried, any kind of lean red meat, which would be steak or lean ground beef, ground turkey, and then our vegetarian sources. If you love beans and lentils, whether you use canned and then you can rinse the salt off, or you can use frozen, nut butters or seeds, peanut butter, almond butter, lots of different options. So many options for us today that it is super easy to eat healthy as long as you have them on hand, okay? Oh, Pamela, let's get the stocked handout. Let's get the Keep a Stock Pantry handout up, please, so I can reference that. I came up with this handout many years ago because a lot of clients, this is the biggest problem, not having nutritious foods on hand. Most times we wait until we are way too hungry, and then we can't make educated choices because we don't care. So one of the first things is keeping your grains. So again, the grains part, personally in my house, my kids get, and my husband and myself, we get enough grains from our cereal. I choose brown rice over white rice. So with the pasta, I feel like we don't need our fiber from that. So whole grains, you don't have to eat whole grains just for the fiber, but just know that you're getting whole grains for other, like antioxidants, phytochemicals, fancy words that just mean that it's more awesome for your health, okay? So if you like quinoa, if you want to try buckwheat or make tabbouleh salad, go for it. And the more variety you have with these grains, the more convinced you'll be to eat healthy. And again, a lot of these grains you can cook a couple at a time. You can cook them in chicken stock, you can cook them in water, you can eat them for breakfast instead of oatmeal, and you'll be more satisfied, and also you won't get bored eating the same thing all the time. So there are a few on here. Whole grain bread is usually the #1 place that people start eating more whole grains. It's fine. And again, there are lots of options with tortillas, with English muffins, with bread. We definitely do a big variety. I thought I had tortillas out here. I had corn tortillas somewhere. It must be in the back. But stuff like that will keep for a long time in your refrigerator and freezer. Okay? Cereal. Cereal is a great source of carbs, and it's an excellent snack after you work out. So if you are training, I don't even know what time of day you ladies train, but if you're training in the morning when it's the coolest, maybe you have a cup of coffee and a banana before you head out. Then you come back, one of the best foods to refuel would be a nice light bowl of cereal, not a box, just like a couple cups. And then you would want to have some nice low-fat milk. You could use almond milk, you could use non-fat cow's milk, you could use light soy milk, as long as it doesn't have a lot of added sugars to it. Then you're good to go. You have fresh fruit, and that's great. But just watch the cereals. Of course, anything that has a lot of added colors, dyes, those are not the best ones, but I know everybody in here would eat a lot of whole grain cereal. There's a lot of options. Flours, if you are so inclined to make your own breads, but mostly like muffins, low-fat cakes like banana bread. Resources like fatfree.com or cookinglight.com have some really good recipes. I don't get paid by those sites. I just know that there are some really nice, healthy, low-fat recipes that are very nutritious that you can make ahead of time. For example, I have some whole grain blueberry muffins I keep in the freezer, so I have them at the ready. And so those are all of our grains. So if you choose pasta, rice, don't overbuy. If you do keep a large stock of those, make sure that you keep them either in the refrigerator or the freezer so we don't get the little mealy bugs that get into them. I personally keep all my grains in the refrigerator or freezer so that they last a little bit longer. Okay, let me go back over to fruits and vegetables. This stupid thing is bothering me, but I'm going to keep it in just for you guys. Okay, fruits and vegetables. This is where you want to put most of your, oops, you had the fruits and vegetables up there. This is where you want to invest most of your money, okay? If I spend $120 a week on produce, or groceries, for my family of 5, I will probably spend about $40 to $50 of those dollars on fruits and vegetables. There are a couple strategies. Of course, we buy things that are in season, and I think you can see everything right here. A lot of these things, on Tuesday, I'm so glad we're doing this on Tuesday because I have a produce delivery guy that brings produce. They're